Hey y'all, so this is one of my a lot kind of day content creations. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the next part of my message. So I previously, if you just saw my recent post, I was talking about how it is to be in a narcissistic family infrastructure, right? But I'm going to tell y'all about a revelation I had earlier this week, right? Or last week rather. I was thinking to myself, right? How is it that I feel like when God took me into a season of isolation last year, I went off the grid for like 10 months. I was like, how is it that it seems like everybody around me, God called me to disconnect from them? 9 times out of 10, by now, God has allowed me to be released to talk to the people that he doesn't mind me interacting with. So if I'm in communication with you, you weren't one of those ones. But whoever I have cut off communication with and have not reopened communication with, they were someone God called me to cut off, block, delete, not have a conversation, not have a word. And 9 times out of 10, if you know, you know. Most of the times when you cut people off quietly, there's a narrative spread about you that you're problematic, that you're jealous, that you're this, that you're that. Now I'm talking about from the standpoint of friendships, right? I'm not even talking about family anymore. What I had to get comfortable with is let whoever think whatever, let whoever say whatever. 9 times out of 10, the people that are talking or that are speaking against you are not even people that can contend with you with a 10-foot pole. They know that you're heavy. They know that you're the truth. They know that there are many things that are great about you. So they can't stand next to you in any type of competition, even though there shouldn't be a competition, because who is competing with who you call friend? But let's be honest, those that speak against you and have created narratives about you behind your back because you silently cut them off, understand the reason why they're doing that is to control a narrative so that mutual friends that actually might have really liked you see you from a different standpoint. And if they're weak-minded and they don't have a thought process on their own, they come into agreement with these sad things that these people have told them. Well, one of the things that I love about where I am in my journey and in my life, I don't really care what people think about me. I really and truly don't. I don't care who told people my business. I don't care who shared anything. The greatest thing about healing is when you have shortcomings or insecurities or things about yourself that you can fine tune, that you could fix, that you could change, or even that you have to own because these things had to happen so that a new version of you could be birthed, you have to be okay with people spreading everything about you. Think about the highest people in society, the ones that have the most clout, the most that make ones that make the most noise, but the ones that are humble. Those are the ones I'm focusing on right now. They have told stories in platforms where they've had to speak about their life stories coming up or some of the adversities, trials, and tribulations or triumphs that they had to go through. And they will tell you that many people spoke against them. Many people plotted against them. Many people planned against them. Many people wanted to see them fail, and they were not supportive of them when they started to become a thing, right? That is not by chance or accident that doesn't happen. I'm going to give you guys quite a few stories in the Bible where you can relate to this. Cain and Abel. He killed his brother because he was jealous of the favor that God put in his life. He didn't ask to have that type of favor. God chose him for that. Joseph's family, when Joseph's family threw him in a pit because he told his family that they would bow down to him because God was going to make him a king. Let's think about Esther. Esther was supposed to be an orphan her whole life, but her cousin Mordecai saw something in her. He raised her up, sent her to the king, and she became a queen. It's always the underdogs, always the people that are least expected to be high in society that go through the most warfare, go through the most struggles and tribulations in life, and the ones that people drag for filth. And the reason why they do it is because they know that you heavy, my loves. I have to have, even as bold as I come to you guys, I have to have these very real reminders of who I am. And I have to remember who God showed me I was when he took me off of social media and took me away from all the people that had me playing small, had me dimming my light, had me operating in a version of myself that wasn't even real. When you wake your eyes up to the reality of life and you get yourself outside of the matrix, you really are awakened to what life truly is and what it should be, and not what we've been lied to believe that it is or what it should be. My loves, it is the most hurtful thing once you have that revelation of awakening, but it's also the most powerful thing because God meets us exactly where we are. He never does anything to harm us, but says Jeremiah 29:11, he plans to give us a hope and a future to prosper us. My loves, what you have to understand is when you ever conceptualize a version of yourself that is powerful, you have to be okay with the negativity, the narratives, the lies, the smear campaigns, the disconnections that you'll have to lean into with both family and fake friends, because you cannot be who God created you to be until you see yourself the way he wants you to see yourself. And that's never going to happen a second before you disconnecting from the thing that keeps you small, that keeps you broken, that keeps you from being able to identify who you are. When you really step into your power. You will go into rooms and own it. You will never play small. And those that feel small in your presence, that is on them to unpack with God. It's not your problem. Don't play small, my loves. See yourself the way God sees you. Do the work. Do the ugly healing work that it takes for you to really be able to step into the true version of yourself. Because outside of the lies and the gaslighting that the society, the fake friends, and all of these narcissistic people that the enemy, I rebuke that the enemy places in your path to keep you stuck and stagnant, God is going to expose it to you, Lord, my loves, so that you can step into a different version of yourself and step into the call that God placed over your life. Many are called, my loves, but few are chosen. Allow yourself to be worked on by God. Diamonds require pressure. Metal goes through fire. Anything with substance, gold, anything with real substance and value has to go through a refinement process. But on the other side of that refinement process is love, light, and a revelation of the promised land. Open up your Bibles, my love. Lock into God. Take a step back and allow yourself to go through a season of isolation. God will heal you. He will fix you. He will rebuild you. And then he will release you so that you can be all it is that he created you to be. This message was for someone, and I felt it so strongly in my spirit. I hope it helps, and I'll talk to you guys soon.